What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Barbells and Trails podcast. I'm your host, Brett, back with episode 53. And like I told you guys last week, I decided to bring on a guest. My sister is here, Bailey, yet again, back from her first year of college. So let's get right into that.
Indeed.
How was your freshman year? Do you feel accomplished, older,
No.
drained,
Yes.
experienced? I don't know.
No.
No?
It was a rough year.
Was it, though? Was it the first semester or last semester that was the roughest?
Last semester. Which, like, my roommates I had that are sophomores, they were like, warned me after it started getting hard, second semester. They're like, yeah, second semester is always worse than first. And I was like, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that. Do you like your college? Like how it's structured, how they do stuff?
I don't really know.
Because, I mean, you go to a smaller school.
Every class is different. It's nice. Okay, there's pros and cons of the smaller school. One, nothing ever happens at the school. Like, we don't have parties. A lot of events don't happen, so you don't really get to meet that many people unless it's in your class. Or, like, a roommate, and you meet your roommate's friends. And then, the other thing about being in a small school is good and bad, I guess, is they take attendance. So you can only miss a certain amount of classes, which suck ass. Like, if you just don't want to go to class, even though you're paying, they can kick you out of the class because you don't go, which sucks. And I wish they didn't do that. But they do. But, like, it's a pretty campus, I guess, like, in the fall.
Is that it? In the fall?
We didn't really have much of a winter, and I wasn't there.
See, I like your school. It's not bad. I think I just don't like its placement. It's kind of tucked away in the middle of nowhere.
It's not in the middle of nowhere. Like,
I mean, kinda.
It's directly off a main road.
State road. Like, technically, I'm directly off of a main road. Practically. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I guess.
You're like 45 minutes to an hour away from anything.
Anything
worthwhile.
Major, but we have, like, a Walmart and, like, different stuff in town.
Yeah, but that's not...
And then we're 5 minutes away from Illinois. We literally just drive over a bridge to get into Illinois.
Well, I know, but I mean, like, there's not a lot around. There's not stuff for you to go do, really. Like,
yeah, if you want to go do, like, any activities, you have to go to Evansville or Terre Haute, and that's an hour or more away, depending on which part you go.
See, location-wise, I think personally I would prefer Purdue or Indiana State.
No.
I think Bloomington, or IU. Purdue has decent town. Like, I like West Lafayette. I like the town.
Crazy.
The whole reason why I would prefer those areas is because it's closer to, like, state parks, and I can go do stuff. And
we do have trails. Okay, so that's something that Isla and I did, one of my friends, during first semester, but mainly second semester. We went on drives a lot to, like, just get away. And Vincennes, like, out of, like, the direct town when you go into the country is beautiful. I loved it. And, like, we talked about it, I was like, I could live, like, if Vincennes wasn't the town right there, I could live in this area. There's still, like, rolling hills, and there's a couple big ones, but it's still, like, flat because, you know, I get car sick. But I love the drives. Like, it was so therapeutic and it was so pretty.
I mean, I like it down there. It is nice. It's just not, I guess, where exactly I would prefer to live. I would like somewhere more wooded, more...
Yeah, I guess.
natural,
I mean, I visited... And you think Purdue is one of those?
That's not what I meant. I meant to say IU, just based off of location being near, like...
I wouldn't like it because of the hills.
Brown County State Park and all that. I love it down there. So living there... I would love it because I would probably go to Nashville every weekend. I would go hiking. I would go to other trails. Like, if you go to IU, you are probably an hour away from, like, 5 different state parks, let alone, like, another state forest and other trails and stuff. You got so much more to do within an hour, and you're still roughly an hour from Indy if you really want to go up there. Bloomington's larger than Vincent, so there is a lot more to do there in general. So out of that aspect, I like where the placement is what I was meaning. Not necessarily the college itself. But, like, Purdue is kind of like, I like the college. I like the area. I like West Lafayette. I think Lafayette's an all right town for the most part. But it's kind of, I mean, it's in northwestern Indiana. There's not a lot up there. It's kind of like in the middle of nowhere. Like, if you leave Lafayette, there ain't shit around.
Yeah.
And it's basically farm ground. Like, I was surprised when I went up there and went to, like, the bog. There was a bog nearby. But that's, like, about it when it comes to, like, any natural environments. Like, there's not a whole lot there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I feel
then
like...
why did you mention Indiana State? Because it's directly in a town.
I know, but in the sense of it's close to, like, Turkey Run. It's not far from there in certain areas. That's why.
I visited Indiana State, and I just did not like the campus whatsoever.
I think I applied and got approved there.
I did too.
No, I'm saying I did. I got approved to Ball State, I'm pretty sure.
Me too.
I applied to 3 colleges.
I think I applied to 6, and I got into all of them.
Yeah, I got into all of them. See, we're both at least 100% acceptance, right? Did you hear about the one student, though, now?
What?
That's accrued over $9 million in scholarships. He's applied to 170 institutions across the country and has been accepted in a lot.
Oh, my gosh. He must be brilliant.
I think he has I don't even know what his GPA is, but like a perfect GPA, like all sorts of shit. Like,
yeah, no.
Ridiculous. I don't know what the hell that kid does that
nothing
every college
besides
is
schoolwork.
like, hey, we like him. Like, I don't know the whole backstory, but I've seen that where he's like, I'm hoping to get, and this was, I think, close to the end of the month in April. By the end of May, he wanted to have almost $9 million worth of scholarship offers. So that doesn't mean he has $9 million or $10 million in scholarships, but between all the colleges he's been accepted to and the scholarships they were willing to give him is worth $9 million.
See, I would go to whoever gave me a full ride, and if I liked their campus and they were in the general
I think at that
vicinity
point, that means that there was multiple that gave him full rides, for sure.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, 170 universities or something he's applied to, that is a lot. So it's like the average tuition is 30,000. Let's say 30,000. I mean, that's still a lot, but it's like a full ride for 4 years, 120. I mean, still that's only 120,000 out of $9 million total. So I mean, some of them definitely didn't give him full rides, but still, that's kind of ridiculous that he got accepted. How much did he spend just applying to schools?
I mean, there is like, at least in Indiana, I don't know if it's like that in other states, there's the week of
like
free
in September or something.
Yeah,
right?
Which is nice that your schools let you know that. And then like some universities are free all around.
Yeah, and then some.
But most of the time they're anywhere between $50 and $100 just to apply, which is freaking retarded. It
is annoying. It's like I mean, technically what I did, I had to do that yesterday, but it's basically you gotta pay to even apply. Like, imagine having to pay for an application at a job.
Nobody would do that job.
You're paying to work there.
Yeah, I know.
Like, it doesn't it doesn't make sense. Mm-mm. Like, you're paying. Yeah, it's just like, it is kind of weird because they already get plenty of money, and it's very. I don't know. It's kind of fucked up.
Real fucked up.
But that's
don't
why.
Don't do it, kids.
I wouldn't say that. Depends on what you want to do.
Well, true, but good luck.
I mean, that's why like I have a curiosity towards like the Peterson Academy whenever that opens up, because if I can spend $4,000 on a bachelor's degree, that's ridiculous. And
I would do it, even though I'm already getting one.
You're gonna, yeah, like, yeah, it's like I would 100% do it. I don't know what they're gonna offer, but if they do like business or like nutrition or certain things, 100%, and I'd love to do it. Yeah, with like the Peterson Academy, it's just, if I could get a degree for $4,000,
that'd be
why
amazing.
not?
A lot of, I feel like a lot of people
I think a lot of people take it, but then a lot of people will be like, oh, I don't want to support him. So no. Depending on where you are. But it's like if someone can get a degree online for $4,000 by a very accredited college, which is what I know he's working on, like getting basically the whole curriculum, everything, like I don't even know how that works, but getting it like to the highest standard possible and having real professionals, amazing professors, the best of many things come out on their topics and not just pull whoever they can get their hands on. Because, I mean, he has influence in the education system. Like, he's been a professor for 25 years or more. So, like, he has connections. So, just like the COVID vaccines, I'm going to sit back and wait for a bit, see kind of how it goes, and then make my decision on if I want to do it or see how it kind of works out or see what it is. Because I'm like, man, that's not a lot of money. And if I could get a business degree, like, it wouldn't hurt to do something along those lines. But like I'm just trying to think, like, he in general, man, I'm blanking now. One of the people he had come out for like one of his courses or whatever that he recorded down in Miami was Max Lugavere, which is a person I try to get you to listen to his podcast all the time. But I think now he's probably one of my favorite podcasts. One, I like his personality. Two, probably one of the most informational podcasts I watch, just because of everything and the topics and the conversations he has with professionals and doctors and authors and scientists and whoever he has on, basically all doing with like nutrition in the body. And he was actually involved on one of the courses, so I was like, well, that's really cool, actually. But like one of the books, I actually got a few books from the people that, now it's been four books from people that have been on his podcast, and this is actually one of them. I was like, oh, this would be interesting, and it's about your adrenal glands and basically making sure that your body's processing stress properly. No, I have not read it yet.
Oh, my body is for sure not.
So it'd be interesting to look, because I think some of hers, if I remember correctly, her stuff actually has a higher effect for women because of how their body processes stress differently and their thyroid typically goes out. I didn't know this, but for most women, they have major thyroid, I'm just going to say disability. I know it's not necessarily the right word, but thyroid disability by the age of 40, where it just doesn't work properly. It doesn't produce thyroid hormone near as much as it should. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing.
A lot of people have, what the hell is it called? When your levels for thyroid's messed up because it messes up your cycle, and
I think that's part
that
part
I forget what the hell it's called.
Yeah.
But I got tested for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
I got a blood test to see if my
But the thing is, it was also on her podcast, she said the typical tests for it aren't that accurate until you're like, you don't see symptoms of, I can't remember what it is, something thyroid function or other, but I know what you're talking about, and that's part of the things she talked about even on the podcast. And it's crazy because she talked about the tests that they typically do, because they go for thyroid hormone analysis or something, and you won't see a noticeable difference, which is a symptom of this disease, which I actually have a chance of getting, at least off of my genetic tests, until 10 years after it takes effect, if you do that test. But if you do I think it's a thyroid antibodies test, that can at least show signs of it earlier, so you can actually treat it. And you can't necessarily get rid of it, but you can treat it where it won't have an effect. I was like, that's kind of crazy. But it's just like, you and me were talking about it the other day a little bit, where it's just, I don't know, I find his podcast in particular so fascinating, because it reminds me of when we were kids and we were learning about Native Americans and how like they healed through like food and herbs and natural ways, like the first medicine, like that was definitely a thing in Europe and in certain cultures. I
said I want to know more about it too. Like, I think it'd be interesting to like know how to do those remedies and actually do them.
Well, the thing is, it's not necessarily remedies per se. Like, it's very simplistic. Like, with some of the stuff they talk about, like, there's literally just certain foods you throw in your diet every now and again, and it gives you a benefit of almost a medicine. Or, yes, there's certain foods for certain instances where it's like, hey, this could really help if this happens. And it's like, you don't have to necessarily do anything special. It's just like incorporating certain foods or nutrition into your diet that you might not normally get, or let alone that people nowadays don't typically get. And that's why we deal with so many other, like, almost autoimmune diseases and, like, obesity and a bunch of different things, and, like, that are just, like, so common now that, like, some of these foods have been basically shifted out of, like, the food system and stuff people typically eat when they actually had such a great benefit on, like, human health. And not saying, like, some of these foods or some of these diets necessarily, like, cure obesity or will make you skinny, but not having them has a larger effect than having them in is that the right way of putting it?
It's close enough.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's just like the two things I feel like are the most corrupt systems right now are the medical and, like, big pharma and big food.
Big what?
Pharma and big food.
Oh, I was gonna say education.
No.
I don't think it's corrupt, but I think it has some fixing to do.
I mean, yeah, but definitely, but it's not. I think it's definitely very influential, but I think food has a larger impact.
True.
Because, like, I'm just trying to think to some of the stuff I've listened to in particular on his podcast, and, like, some of these stuff that he talks about, like, if you just look at overall data, the amount of people that are now overweight, obese, diabetic, have heart disease, strokes, like, at risk, all these things, cancer rates, they've all gone up over the past 50 years. And I don't, like,
tremendously, right?
Oh, yeah, like, ridiculously. Infertility, like, everything that's bad when it comes to human health has risen, especially in the U.S. Not necessarily, like, worldwide in general, but especially in the U.S.
Yeah.
And there's, people always point to, like, a specific reason. I don't necessarily think there's a specific reason. Like, you can look at very specific, like, things that all wrap into one thing, which is processed foods. Like, you can look at fructose, you can look at, like, seed oils, you can look at, like protein going out of style necessarily, where it's not as incorporated, and carbs becoming the main thing, and fats and sugars and all these things. But in general, it's just, like, processed foods have became the major thing that's caused most of these altogether. And I listened to a podcast, and this guy's talking about, like, big food and how corrupt it is and the whole situation. But he's like, I don't think that most of this happened originally with, like, malintent. He was talking about how he believed that at the time, this would have been like the 40s, that food was still kind of a scarcity. And so they were still trying to find ways to make sure that there's plenty of food for a growing population at the time. So they were finding ways to keep food more perishable. That would keep longer, last longer, easier to process, and more cost effective for larger groups of people. So they slowly worked towards a more processed system, and eventually that just became what it is. And then 40 years later, it turns out that it's completely demolishing, like, our human health in America, which is pretty crazy. But I mean, I don't know. That's why I really like his podcast, just because it talks about so many different, very nuanced things. Like, he has people that come in on very specific subjects, some very broad, but, like, each podcast I'm like, oh damn, this is so interesting.
Maybe I should actually listen to him.
I think so. I mean, I think if there's any podcast out there that nowadays I think anyone should listen to, just in general,
this one.
Yeah, by the way, be sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, Follow on Spotify. All the above. But no. But just in general, I feel like if there's one that can both be kind of entertaining, but like I feel like everyone can learn something from or get something out of that's worthwhile, I feel like his podcast is one of those. I think there's still a lot of podcasts that are more for entertainment, and I'm not saying I don't listen to those, where like Bert Kreischer, like, and Tom Segura's like Two Bears One Cave, or The Fellas, or Impulsive, or like all these different ones. They're definitely more. I'm not saying they don't have some like pretty interesting guests and can have interesting conversations, but 90% of the time it's entertainment. I feel like Rogan's like 50-50. Part of that being why it can be more entertainment at times, because he likes more serious topics. So it becomes more, I feel like, in a way, educational. But like his in particular is really good. Like Andrew Huberman's another one that like has so much information, but I feel like I almost feel like Max makes it more digestible, which makes sense. He's a nutrition guy.
Easier to
pass. Well, I think also because I think part of it's his personality, and he's not a professor.
Yeah.
Where Andrew Huberman's a professor, so he like teaches as he podcasts. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. He does really well, but it's very like I don't even know how to explain it if you haven't listened to his stuff. But he's so like
I've listened to the TikTok clips.
Yeah, like he's like he breaks down mechanisms, and I'm not necessarily saying that Max doesn't, but just how he handles it is a little different, where it's like I feel like more formal, you know?
Yeah.
Where there's a lot of information, but I feel like it's slightly harder to digest and take in. Like I feel like I'd be more willing to listen to Max, easier to understand and listen and follow along than to Huberman's. I mean,
agreed.
Do you listen to any podcasts?
No.
Okay.
I have a really hard time with multitasking. I'm really bad at it, and I get distracted way too easy. So if I depending on what I'm doing, I can listen to music and study. Other times, if I listen to music, no studying is happening. Sometimes I need complete silence. Sometimes even if I'm doing something, I can't have music or anything in the background because I get too distracted. It's
I get
weird.
That. Well, I mean,
my brain's all over the place.
I understand. I feel like depending on the day, I can do stuff around the house. I can work on stuff and be productive, sometimes listening to a podcast or an audiobook. Then there's other times I'm like, oh man, I'm not paying attention to the podcast or audiobook that well. I'm like, fuck.
See, that's the way it's at both of my jobs now. I can't really have headphones in because I have to be able to hear people.
You can have one.
But with all the machines, all of in the kitchen, so much going on, doing the dishes and pots and pans and people talking, I would not be able to pay attention to them and a podcast and my thoughts in my head. That's just too many voices.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I know I want to, and I really do want to get into podcasts and listen to them. It's just gonna be an adjustment.
I feel like
for my brain,
my head, you know how my brain works a little bit. It's kind of cocky, and that's not what I meant, but it's kind of spasmodic sometimes. But at the same time, I can kind of control my thoughts. There's times I'll talk to myself, I'll do whatever, and I'll just random shit will pop into my head, and I'll say stuff. But when I'm listening to a podcast, I'll still be thinking about it, and I can still work. But also, my job at the moment is very menial, I guess, for the most part. It doesn't take up brain capacity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's I can focus on what I'm doing, not get killed by equipment driving around or something.
Yeah.
And just do my job and focus enough, but not have to focus real hard where I can still listen to a podcast. Where I'm there's some days when I'm here and I'm doing stuff around the house. Honestly, listening to music's better for me because I just get hyped. I'm in the zone, and it just goes by, and I'm I'm cleaning
that's how
dishes,
I am
and I'm
sometimes. But then other times I get too distracted by the music. I'm dancing around for an hour instead of doing what I need to do.
Yeah, no, I get. Yeah.
I do that with school. I'll be sitting on my desk, jamming instead of writing a paper or doing notes.
There's multiple concerts I need to go to this year. Like I want to. Like you need.
I wanted to go to the Thomas Rhett concert so bad.
Like I want to go to NF's this year in Chicago if it's not fucking sold out already. I want to see like.
What was the other one you wanted to go to? Was it Snoop?
Yeah, Snoop Dogg. Maybe Charlie Puth. He's coming into town. I don't know who
I
else.
would go watch Charlie Puth or Louis Capaldi, but word is Louis Capaldi isn't going on tour anymore.
No, I went and saw him.
I know.
Now.
It's so sad.
I need to ask him about it because when we were on the
His
podcast.
concert seems just so fun. Like, I see so many people on TikTok that will post videos of his concerts and, like, him joking around and, like, shit like that. But I know, like, his tics are getting bad and, like, now
That's why he's
like,
stopping.
Yeah. And then, like, he will tell people, he's like, I'm not actually playing the piano. And it's, like, a track and he's just singing it to it. But he'll sit up there acting like he's playing piano. But it's also, I believe, it's because of his tics.
I believe it. Because I've never seen Tourette's come on
the way
like that.
Yeah, neither have I. Most of the time, I feel like you're kind of born with them. Or, like, you've discovered them.
But,
or
like,
at
by
young ages.
teenage.
Yeah.
But I also I've never seen it where it goes progressive. Like where it's like nothing or
there's so many different kinds
very minimal
too.
to like here like it's
it
here.
Can be. I follow a girl on TikTok. Her name's her username's like hippie something, and she has Tourette's, and like that's kind of what happened with her. She didn't find out until they didn't like diagnose her with Tourette's.
I feel like that's normal
until
though.
she was in high school.
I've heard the diagnosis process,
and then it kind of like got progressively worse. But she also has other disorders. But like that one,
I've heard that diagnosing Tourette's honestly is from someone that's had Tourette's. I've heard them talk about it. It's like it's a stupid process because it actually takes forever for people to actually figure it out. Yeah. Because for a long time, people just think like. They're acting out. And it's like, how the fuck would you think a kid's acting out like that? Like,
I feel like they should find a better way to.
Yeah, and at one point there's certain tics that it's like, does that look like they're doing it purposefully?
Yeah.
Like no, like.
That would be so hard to live with. Like.
It would be. I feel like. I think the thing is you would get used to it, but it'd be hard
for your
socially.
Yeah.
And like. Dealing with that
and aspect. I know it's like real draining, and at the end of the day like a lot of people with tics just pass out because it's so draining on them to tic all day. Yeah.
And especially physical ones. They're probably burning a lot of calories. I mean that like one of the things that I think this was on Max's podcast, The Genius Life. He was talking about, what is it called? There's a certain term for it, but basically damn it. It's like certain things that you just naturally do throughout the day that burn calories. So that could be like someone that like naturally bounces their foot without thinking, or kind of like does whatever, moves their hands around a lot when they talk. I can't remember what the words are for it, but for some people at one point that was studied, that these people just by being more, what's the word, expressive, or let's say not necessarily having a tic, but kind of being, I almost said unstable, but not wanting to like stop moving or fucking around or bouncing their leg, which I used to do a lot.
They don't sit still.
Yeah, they can burn up to like an extra 500 plus calories a day, or I think somewhere even 1,000 just by doing those. And it's just naturally that they showed that like, oh wow, these people are burning a lot of calories just from minimal movements. Yeah. But it's because they do it so often and everything that little movement keeps their shit running a lot faster. And I'm like, huh, it's kind of crazy.
I never would have thought about that.
Yeah, like little movements do more than you think. That's also why like at one point like walking isn't necessarily super extreme, but getting steps at times, like if you go on a walk, it seems long and kind of dreadful and slow. It takes up time because you're deliberately taking this amount of time just to walk. But like if you, like when I went golfing last Friday, by the end of the day, I had over 20,000 steps, and I probably did 10,000 of that roughly at if not more, it was probably more than 20,000 by the end of the day, probably at the golf course, but it didn't feel like I was doing that much. Yeah. Part of it might have been from driving through in the golf cart and some were accidentally added. So like, okay, even if you take out 2,000 of the 10, it's still a lot of extra steps that like added up fairly quickly in 2 hours. Where it's like you don't necessarily see it, but it's like when you think about that,
See,
that's
I
another
feel
like
like
300 well, maybe not 300 calories, but that's a few hundred calories burned.
See, I feel like on campus when I'm walking around, like sometimes I'll glance at my steps and I'm like, why is this not bigger? I've walked the entire thing. When I used to walk every night.
Yeah.
And do laps upon laps, and I was like, it's doing nothing. Like, I would be so aggravated.
I mean, for some reason, maybe your I almost said speedometer. Your pedometer wasn't working right on it.
I don't know.
But
I did one time. I went to a basketball game and I was close to my 10,000. And from me like screaming and jumping and whatever and clapping, I got up to like over 10,000 by the end of the game.
Well, like that's the thing for your college. You're like, oh, I never get all these steps, and I'm like, you're not at a big campus. Like,
it seems freaking far when you walk from one end to the other.
Yeah, but how often do you, like, during your day, like, if you actually just go through your routine with classes, like, what, you walk to one building back to your dorm, maybe, then maybe to the cafeteria to your dorm, and then maybe from your dorm to another class to your dorm or whatever, like, in one day, let's say. Does that seem reasonable-ish?
Sure.
For the most part. It's like your campus isn't that big, so it's like you might, even if, let's say you take 1,000 steps almost between all those, like maybe those trips or maybe even more. Like you said, that's only like 4 or 5,000 steps. But like, because it's not that far, and it's only because when you're there, you're mainly just sitting. Where it's like for me, it's like I'm in a small building, but like I'm on my feet most of the day, and like I drink a lot of water, so I got to go piss like every hour practically or something, or maybe a little more.
I don't think I drink water today.
Yeah, you don't drink any water. This is a problem. But like, so I naturally have to go piss all the time or refill my water or do something where it's like just doing that.
Which next year is going to be even worse. I just realized because all of my classes are in the exact same building. 2 of them are in the exact same classroom.
Yeah. But there's a lot of changes coming up for us soon. I mean, like, you're going to be in your PTA program this year. Mm-hmm. And I just got my license activated today.
I think there's a lot of changes now. I wouldn't say just, like, coming up. I would say now.
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah,
One, I'm home full time.
Yeah.
Like, for me, anyway. I have
technically got your first full-time job.
First full-time job, a part-time job.
At least full-time hours. Like, not full-time is, like, yearly, but, yeah, full-time hours. A second job.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
A part-time second job. Trying to stay on a routine and going to bed early. That's a new thing. What was the other thing?
Possibly working at the hospital.
Yeah, but that's
next year, right?
That's a couple months away. Not next year, a couple months away.
Oh.
Trying to go to the gym.
And
there's something else that I was going to say. Oh, like preparing for all my like PTA stuff, like
college course.
Oh, yeah, summer class. I have a summer course. Doing CPR, which obviously isn't that long, and like I have to do like different appointments to turn into the PTA stuff. So like, and then you're doing all your license stuff.
Yeah, no, honestly, the next week will be interesting. Like,
yeah,
like basically, so my license just got activated today. So now it's like, okay, I got to fill out paperwork. I got to sign this. I got to sign a contract with my broker. I got to like get all this stuff worked out. I got to pay some money here, pay some money there. Fun. And then I got to, like I was looking, I got to get certified on this one course to use MLS, like Access. I have to take like a ethics class. Like I gotta.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Basically. I have to take ethics too.
Well, not. I don't think you're a type of ethics.
Oh.
Like equal rights.
Actually, no, that's wrong. I have to take econ.
Yeah.
I kept thinking because I kept confusing because my roommate had to take ethics, and I kept saying when I found out my classes, oh yeah, I'm taking ethics too. It's actually econ.
Well, it's like, damn, it's not. Is it ethics? It's like a civil rights thing, like basically fair housing law stuff that I gotta acquaint myself with, and a few other things. Like I looked and I gotta do something in June, Like I gotta actually be somewhere and take like a sit-in class for a day and do a few things. And it's like not only that, but that's a month away. But in that time period, I gotta like probably set up a website, set up an Instagram, set up
Facebook,
new email, Facebook email, Twitter maybe, like anything.
Change your job to part-time.
No.
Oh.
But like just a bunch of different things, and try to do all that, and then possibly start going to open houses, possibly get headshots. What? Like interesting. I might hold out on that just a bit, but like eventually, like headshots.
I want to see your head on a billboard.
No, but
please.
No, that costs money. I gotta make money first, and then two. No, most realtors do not put their face on billboards.
Kim's face is on a grocery cart.
That's not billboard.
It's everybody sees it. Put your face on a grocery cart.
I'll be honest. I might do something eventually.
Go to the grocery store. It's Brett.
No, but I'll definitely. I already thought about it. Like, I was like, oh, there is definitely like weird, interesting, but fun ways that I could like
market
and promote myself. I was like, oh, that'd be kind of fun to do at one point, but that's all at my cost.
Yeah.
So
which sucks.
Yeah. But I'm like, I'm not against getting headshots, but it's like, man, I don't want to take like the cliche realtor, like
cross your arms, smile.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know. I'm not very photogenic. You know this. Not that I'm not.
Neither am I.
I'm not that I'm not a good looking man. I don't have a nice smile, but to get me to like
actually
really get a good photo,
you have to make him laugh.
It's hard. Like I've never been good at just like getting a smile.
Oh, I can't do it anymore. Ever have you like? Did this happen to you ever? After you got your braces off, is your smile different and you don't smile the same? Mine is, and I feel like I smile creepy now.
What?
Yeah. Like, I can't smile normally like I
feel
mean? Like I could before or during me having
like,
braces.
Can you explain?
I don't know how to explain. I feel like I look like a creepo and, like, you can't see my teeth and, like...
Well, yeah, we figured this out last night that you can't move your bottom lip, which is fucking weird. Yeah, you can barely lower your lip, or if so, you don't know how, somehow. It's like, I can show it. You, like, struggle.
I can't. Like, I have a really small mouth.
But it's just... Okay. But it's just, like... I don't know. I've never been photogenic, but no, whatever the fuck you're saying is weird. Also, it's not like you just got your braces off.
I know, but I'm saying this has, like, been... since I didn't have braces. Have you not noticed that? For me, this would have
been 7 years ago. I don't fucking know how I felt yesterday, let alone 7 years ago. It would have been 4
years ago for me.
Yeah. How the fuck do you know the difference?
Doesn't that look different?
Because you're not smiling. You're, like, gritting your teeth.
That is my smile now.
That is not a smile. That is not how you smile. Because
like,
it's not
that's
genuine.
What I feel
that's like you forcing a smile.
Even if my smile is genuine, it looks forced. Have you looked at any of the photos that we have in our family? Smile.
This is what you're doing.
That's literally, look at any photo that we have on the fridge or anywhere.
You got to get the fucking cheekbones going. I don't know. You got to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
But no, so I got a lot to figure out. But I am excited, but at the same time I'm like, oh shit, no, I really gotta start putting in the work. I don't know what that includes. I'm gonna be the motherfucker. I can tell you right now. I'm gonna get a stack of business cards. And I'm gonna go to everybody I know and be like, fucking hand them out, bitch. Oh, you're working for me now. Like,
you send me with the stack to college.
No, for sure. Like, I'm gonna be like,
here.
Do you guys know anybody that needs a house? Here you go. Like, I'll go to fucking, like, Pork Fest this fall and just be like, need a card?
Yeah, set up a booth.
Got a card. I got a card. Like, I'm going to be the motherfucker that walks around with business cards in my pocket soon.
People do that.
I know. I'm going to be one of those people. Like, I'm going to go to work.
Brett dressed up.
Yeah, I know, right? I got a wedding to go to a month. But, well, I say my first wedding
RSVP?
myself. What?
Did you RSVP?
Yeah, they did it for me. Hunter texted me.
Because you waited till last minute, like I told you. Their wedding's in June. Yeah. It's May, and you didn't RSVP.
They already had a seat saved, but they just want to make sure I'd be there. I don't even know what RSVP means, but either way, this will be technically my second wedding that I've been to for a friend, which is cool. I went to one right after high school. Like, I was actually kind of surprised I was invited. I'll be honest, I can't remember their names.
What wedding? I don't remember you even going to a wedding. You didn't
know them, but I was friends with them in high school.
Here?
Yeah, in Tipton.
Or they here?
Tipton. Oh. And you never knew them, but I was friends with them in high school, and I got invited. Like, they got married. Fuck, it might have been.
Did the girl have glasses?
It might have been in high school. Yeah.
Megan.
No, I have photos on my phone of their wedding, and their dance.
Really?
They're very sweet. But yeah, like yeah. I haven't seen them since that day.
And you were invited to the wedding.
Yeah.
Wow. And you don't know their name.
I'm sorry. Like, if I think about it, I could probably figure it out. But off the top of my head,
they dated in high school, and then they married
years.
Like right after.
Yeah. No.
And it wasn't Allie. Were you invited to Allie's wedding?
No, I wasn't even invited, which is fucking weird.
Sad.
I feel like it was her husband.
That's why I was just about to say that.
Never even talked to the guy, but I don't think he ever liked me.
I don't think it either.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen him from a distance, and I didn't think he liked me.
Like, you've seen him around me a few times.
Uh-huh.
And did you get that feeling too?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, so
I got the feeling around me too when I gave her a hug. Like, he's
very possessive.
Oh, for sure.
But
maybe it's just his demeanor, but like...
Yeah, it could be. But, like, I've never talked to him, and I kind of wish I was invited. Like, honestly, like, if there's anybody I went to high school with that I actually wish that I got invited to her wedding, it would have been Allie's.
Yeah.
But I never got an invite, so there's
They did get married, right?
Yeah, they're married.
Okay,
They've been
that's
married.
what I thought.
So...
He's a cop.
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't know. I think he was like in law enforcement before they got married.
No, he was he was trying to be in the military before they got married, I think. But I think something changed. But so yeah, like in the next month, I'm fucking whipping out this. I was like, Brian, what do you think? Go to the wedding in a suit? And he's like, fuck it.
I think that's a little dressed up for the wedding.
Fuck. Especially for their wedding.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're gonna look like James Bond in the corner.
Fuck yeah, and I'm gonna be pulling out business
You're gonna be
cards.
in the corner seat. So like, really think about it.
Who said
I did, because one, you're going alone. Two, you know nobody. And you're single. I feel like you're just gonna be like in the corner table, like in the back, and then you're gonna be wearing a suit. You're gonna look like fucking James Bond. Just put some sunglasses on and be like,
I'm pulling in like fucking Barney from How I Met Your Mother. No?
Jesus, no, don't be Barney.
If there's anybody to aspire to in that show, it's him.
Okay.
I like his personality. He's fun.
Well, yeah, but I don't think you necessarily want 100% be him.
But so I don't know. But I told Brian, I was like, you know what? Like I've only worn the suit once. Fuck it, pull it out again. Pull it out at my first open house. Like, is it?
Well, I'm not saying you can't wear it, but I don't think I'd wear it to a wedding.
Why?
Because their attire is like country chic. I don't think you're gonna want to show up in a suit and outdress the groom if he's in jeans and boots.
I don't know if they'll be in jeans and boots.
I'm just from meeting them. I can almost 100% guarantee he's gonna be in like
that'd be
a button up.
I don't feel like that's
jeans and
dressing them. But I don't think that's a bad. Like, I think that's their style.
I would double check with them.
I will, but I don't think
because there's a lot of brides that are very particular when it comes to shit like that. Like,
no,
it's weird.
You can't get mad at what your fucking guest wears.
Yeah, you can.
Okay,
if like a girl comes to a wedding wearing white,
yeah.
No, if a girl comes to the wedding wearing white, that is a no.
Okay,
that's
different. But a black suit.
Yeah, you'd like throw off the whole thing. I don't think you're gonna want to check with Dakota.
You think I need to wear fancy country? That's not my vibe. I don't fucking wear fancy country. I didn't say
you have to wear fancy country, but I don't think a suit is the vibe.
I'll ask Connor. I do want to fucking...
Because, like, I just watched a video the other day where these two women showed up to this other girl's wedding in white dresses, and one of them was a wedding dress.
But that's different. I'm not showing up in a wedding dress.
You should.
Like, that's the thing. For a woman, yeah, I get it. It's also very specific for what a woman wears, her style for the day, and like the theme. But at the same time, for the men's side of things, it's like you can have two men that wear the same thing, and it's not necessarily a big deal. Even if one of the people's in the wedding and the other person isn't, it's like, oh, whatever. Like, I get it. Like I feel like if I was at a wedding,
imagine everybody else in like boots and shit, and you're in a picture with a suit on.
Who said I was gonna be in any pictures?
You don't know, some couples do where they take pictures with each table, or they get a picture with each of their guests so they can remember it.
Fucking looking good. Are you trying to not make me look fly? I shouldn't have said that.
Ew. Never said.
But you know, fly.
Fly.
You know what I mean? But because
I'm not saying you can't look fly. But I don't know.
Because it's like,
I'm just saying, double check before you go in a suit.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't feel like it's that big a deal because it's not like I'm not going to wear the fucking jacket the whole time. So it's like, at that point, yeah, I'm wearing fucking dress pants and a fucking button-up. Like a nice button-up shirt.
I get that, but I would still double check with the bride and groom before you decide to show up in a suit and then look like the outcast.
But I already am. I haven't seen the guy in 2 years.
You've kind of talked about me.
I haven't seen him.
Oh, really?
No.
I thought you've at least seen him like a couple times at the bar or something. Like,
no, I've tried to meet him out. Like I've had tickets to concerts, to suites at Cambridge Fieldhouse, to a bunch of shit. Wanted to go out to the bar, wanted to go like all sorts of shit. I've invited him to like 7-8 things, but he's always busy. Like he's either on drill or he just like worked like a fuck ton of hours that week.
Why is he working that many hours?
Or he just can't do stuff, like whatever. Because what he does, he will work late and do stuff, but especially in like spring and fall. But it's like, so I haven't like seen him in a while. I do want to see him and hang out with him before the wedding though. Because it's like, okay, I wasn't at the bachelor party. I wasn't here that. But I want to hang out with you, like even if we go out to the bar. No, of course not. But, you know, like, I want to be around and be like, I want to fucking see you before the wedding. Like, I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
And let alone, I guess, ask him about the fucking suit. But
maybe
also,
you should text him, be like, bro, I need to see you in the next few weeks before you get married.
Okay.
Because he get married at the beginning of June?
No, I think it's actually, like, the second or third week of June.
Still, that's coming up faster than you think.
It is. No, it is, for sure. But, maybe it's less.
He probably hasn't had his bachelor trip yet.
No, he has.
Oh, he must have had it early because a lot of people do it like the weekend or 2 weekends before.
No, they did it like 2 months ago.
Oh.
Yeah, they did it.
Where'd they go?
Nashville.
Oh,
not
the typical.
Tennessee. Indiana.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's like, also, what the fuck else would I wear? Like,
I don't know.
Exactly. So don't shoot me down. Like, I literally pull out the best shit I got in my fucking closet.
Like,
and you're like,
a lot of people wear like button-ups.
It is a button-up with a fucking fancy jacket on it. What the fuck's the problem?
You could wear, like, your nice cargo pants and your nice shoes and then, like, a more casual shirt. Don't you have a more casual, like, button-up shirt than a suit?
Button-up shirts aren't casual. Maybe 50 years ago.
They can be if they're short sleeve. You could wear that with, like, your black or grayish cargo-y pants and your nicer shoes or
cargo-y pants. What are you talking about?
Don't you have, like, slacks? Not slacks. But don't you have, like, not jean material or not
really
jean collared, but, like, black or gray pants?
Not what you would want. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe you just don't have them anymore.
Grandma's already been like, oh, you got to change your wardrobe as you get into real estate. I was like,
I mean, you do, but
for the most part, it's business casual. Like, most people don't go around wearing suits 24/7.
I mean, whenever I've delivered to Kim before, and when I would go into the office, the girls were just wearing, they were still kind of dressy.
Yeah, they were
wearing,
well dressed.
Like, blouses.
But well dressed is different
pants.
for a woman than a guy. Like, a guy being well dressed, like being fairly well dressed, is a suit.
I'm saying you
but you know what I mean?
could get away like business casual with like a polo and like some sort of nice pant.
I mean, okay, not this shirt in particular, but I could get away with a regular nice t-shirt, and it'd be okay.
Maybe if it's tucked in.
And jeans. No.
You'd look more professional if you wore a t-shirt, like something like that, tucked into like black or gray, like nicer pants, not jeans.
They ain't tucking in. Fuck that shit.
Fine, whatever, and nice shoes.
Maybe, but I'll talk to her about that. But either way.
Can I come in sweatpants?
No. That's actually in the rule book.
Is it really?
Yeah. So.
You have a rule book?
Yes.
The one she gave you?
Yeah.
I didn't know you actually read it.
But either way, Grandma was like telling me all this shit to wear. But I'm like, yeah, for a woman, you guys have like different options. Like, business casual could be a dress.
Do we? I wear leggings or sweatpants every day of my life.
Because that's you. But I'm saying in general, you guys have more variety. For guys, like, you go nice shirts, button up.
You have
Button up
more
for a
variety depending on your body style.
Not. Yes, but no. Like, I'm saying in general, women have so many more. Like, the type of pants you like have 4 more types than men have. Like, we got jeans.
You can wear leggings.
Shut up. No, we can't. We got jeans, joggers, sweatpants, shorts, like cargo shorts, I guess, like those, like not nicer shorts. That's it.
What do we have?
You got like capris, jeans, leggings, tights, dresses that count because it covers your legs, so you guys don't have to fucking wear anything. Shorts, shorts, like. You guys got all sorts of skirts. Thank you. You guys have all sorts of stuff, and then you got tops. You got tank tops, blouses, shirts, button ups, right? Like long sleeve, like all this extra cardigans, whatever the fuck that is. Like all this other shit that we don't have. Like we got t-shirts, long sleeves, button ups, sweatshirt. Like what do we? That's it. Like it is.
You can wear crop top.
Like, those, literally, we got 3. Long sleeve, button up, short sleeve, I guess. Button up, short sleeve. Like, that's it. Like, but other than that, like, that's what it is for a guy, and then it just depends on the style. But other than that, those are, like, that's it. We don't have anything else.
Invent it.
What? We don't. Like, you don't see a guy's shirt with, like.
What is that? What is that?
Fluffing on the outside. Like, I don't know.
Butterfly? Like, what are you doing?
Like some women's clothing have, like, I don't know, like patterns
ruffles?
And designs and ruffles and stuff that look like they should be on the dress, but for some reason they're around breasts. I don't know. But,
I'm so confused.
like, I don't know. Like, some of mom's weird clothes and how, like, they're not regular sleeves and they're, like, all, like, bent and, like, fluffy and whatever. It's like, no guys' shirts do that.
You want it to?
No, I'm just saying that's the thing. Like, that's the difference between men and women's clothing. You guys have, like, shirts that are just weird. Guys just have shirts.
We could say the same thing about y'all's flamingo shirts or whatever, like the different button-up shirts that the frat boys wear and, like,
what do you
different themes on them. We could say that's weird and...
Yeah, but that's, like, is literally a shirt that's
else.
a different color. Other than that, it's the same shirt. Like, it's the same style shirt, literally just with a different color or pattern.
That you could say the same thing for women's shirts. It's the same style, just different pattern or different color. Or they added fucking
but I'm saying with
rhinestones or something.
That's what I'm like. That's a lot of extra shit. Where I'm saying with the guy's shirt, typically there's not any extra shit added. It's literally different.
I'll
color
make you
texture.
a bedazzled shirt
if
that's what you want.
But I might be rocking the suit a lot this summer. We'll see. That's what I'm saying. Show up to the Wiz concert.
In a suit, wow.
Imagine.
Smelling like weed after,
Yeah,
and then
that's true.
go to a meeting the next morning, and they're like, "Where were you last night?"
Morning. But no, there's a lot going on this summer for both of us. You're going to be busy. I'm going to be busy. Hopefully, I'm going to be selling or help purchase homes. So write in the comments if you need to sell a house. I don't know. Like it's going to be it's going to be interesting, but there's just there's a lot to do. Are you excited that you're back though?
Yes, I needed
summer?
the break.
Yeah, but then you're working like 60, 70 hours all summer.
But it doesn't really necessarily feel like that so
Because you
far.
haven't
even
done
though
it
it's been, even though it's been 2 days since I've started like the full-time job, it like goes by pretty fast because of what we're doing.
I know, but I get that, but that's not necessarily good because like it's gonna go by fast.
Well, that's true because
then,
I do get home and I'm like, wow, I have to go to bed in 2 hours.
That's not right, but
Close enough.
But you're like, okay, it goes by fast, and then you're gonna work through your hours and get typical work hours. But then on the days you would have off, you're going to work again, and some of those days you're working like double, so you're working like 10 hours or something stupid, so more than even a normal job shift, and so then you don't even technically have like a day to recoup or do nothing.
I should on some weekends. I should at least always have Sunday. Besides, not this weekend, but next. Besides the next weekend. But so far, at least what she showed me in the calendar, I should have at least Sundays off.
Oh shit! You're
very yawn.
Cut that out. But yeah, you should. I hope you have time off. But you need to go to some of those concerts I go to. It'll be fun. No?
I'll just stand there because I don't know the songs.
Listen to the songs beforehand.
Yeah, because I'm going to learn 35 songs in one night.
Oh, 35 songs in one night. I'm not telling you the night of. And also, I sang along to the Thomas Rhett songs, so.
Because you knew them.
But I don't listen to them. Some of the songs you would know.
Yeah, maybe like 2.
It depends on the person, but probably more.
We'll see.
Know. All right. Well, I think that's honestly going to call it because I know you and me both need to get to bed. I'm trying to go to the gym in the morning, and I want to keep reading before I go to bed.
I still got to eat dinner.
Yeah, right. And but thank you for coming on yet again.
Thanks for having me.
I'll probably have you on for most of the summer.
Get ready to see this beautiful face.
All the time. I need your help. Between you.
Do you? Because I'm so much help.
Yeah, I know, right? Between you or maybe Riley, or maybe a Zoom call with Noah again. Something.
Possibly Andrew.
Yeah. Oh,
what about
true,
Freddie? Get
true.
Freddie or Kelvin on
too.
here.
I don't know if they do it. Freddie's like mean.
You can do like a short little video if they don't want to do it for that long. Do like a 30-minute video or 45-minute video.
Yeah.
And sit him down and be like,
I think it'd be
Freddie,
interesting.
Therapy.
Yeah, what'd you think about me having a decent amount of Neanderthal DNA?
You actually never showed me the full thing of the DNA.
True, you weren't here.
Yeah, I know.
It's on that. It's on my phone.
Mm.
Yeah, I have 75%. So I have more Neanderthal than 75% of their customers.
Wow.
Almost 2%.
Look at you.
I don't know if that's a good thing. Maybe it makes me more resilient. I hope.
We'll go with that.
I don't seem like I'm fucking bigger. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Said I might have a less fear of heights, and I'm like, well, I guess I don't actually have a fear of heights.
I don't think I have a fear of
You've
heights.
never been on anything high.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on roller coasters.
Yeah, but I'm saying you've never like been on a cliff and you're like, oh shit.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've been on the what's it called? The
pyramids? Oh.
No.
Building. Ladders?
Thing in Paris. Oh, Eiffel Tower. I've been on the Eiffel Tower thing at Kings Island.
Yeah, but you can't fall out of it.
That's the whole point.
I know. I don't think you have a fear of heights, but I'm just saying, like, you've never been on an edge where it's like.
I've been on the edge.
Not of a cliff, though. Like, I don't get scared when I'm on the edge. I'm definitely very aware that I'm next to a fucking cliff that's like, I'm looking at this shit. And if I fall, I'm dead. Like, for sure. So I'm very conscious of it, but I'm not like fucking sweating, shaking, holding on to a rock.
I don't think I'd ever do that.
No, that's not me. So, yeah, I don't know. That might be because of the
Neanderthal.
Yeah. And apparently, I'm not going to bald. So I'll take that. I don't think it's going to fulfill.
You never know.
You don't, but the likelihood
Start doing
is
like
low.
hair oil treatments.
Yeah. I mean, I already don't wash my hair.
It's good for your hair.
What? Washing my hair?
No, hair oil.
I don't wash my hair, and it looks amazing.
You've never washed your hair?
Not in months and months and months.
How is it not greasy?
It's natural. It goes away. Greasy for a while, and then it
It'd be so
balances
nice
out.
to have a guy's hair. Ugh,
On that note,
jealous.
well, I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace out, everybody. Hit the gym.